Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/Entitled Parents. In today's episode, I just wanted to be a kid. My mom's immigrant guilt ruined my childhood. Entitled mother tries to make me pay her debts. My dad doesn't believe he's being a weirdo. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. I just wanted to be a kid. My mom's immigrant guilt ruined my childhood. My mom and I immigrated to the US in 1997. She met my stepdad through an international dating service. My life in America was never hard, so to speak. My mom always told me and my sister growing up that times were tough. As a kid, I never knew what it meant. My childhood was filled with the word no. As a kid, you're gonna want toys and to go do things with friends. My mom always said no. And if I asked my stepdad, all he would say was, "Go ask your mama." Which always lead to a no. Now, I'll say this: I was never starved, I was given what I was needed growing up. But it was always bottom of the barrel. I remember I asked my mom for a pair of Nikes once. And I really mean once. They were $65.99 and my mom looked at me and said, "You're so greedy, you are so ungrateful for what you have, your family back home could never afford nice shoes like that, don't ever ask me for shoes like that again." Until I got my first job, I wore Walmart and Kmart. My mom had it drilled into my head that me asking for things that any kid would ask for was wrong. That the family back home had it so bad that I would be doing them an injustice for having clothes or toys or video games when they couldn't. A side note that is important. When I came to America initially, my mom and stepdad did not want me to start school a year late. So I brain dumped Spanish and learned English. It was not until last year, 2022, that I really started taking initiative to learn Spanish. Also, a side note about my parents. They have separate bank accounts. My stepdad claims that his money is his and my mom money is hers. This will become relevant. Also, my mom would never pay for a ticket for me to visit our home country. Because she said it was too expensive and that I didn't speak Spanish anyway. I got to the point to where I was very fluent in conversational Spanish. My original plan was to surprise my mom. I practiced by getting in touch with family members back in our home country. I was talking to one of my cousins, and I asked her how her day was. She said it was okay, but she was waiting for the wire from my mom. At first, I thought that was some sort of slang that I was not familiar with, so I asked her to clarify what she meant. She then tells me that she was waiting for my mom to send $800 down to them, that they were waiting at a Western Union for her MoneyGram to come in. At first I am thinking something is wrong. I offer to help. My cousin says, "No, your mom does this every month." I asked again if something was wrong. My cousin said no, so then I asked how long has my mom been doing this. She said since 1999. I asked her, is it always $800? My cousin explains that every month is a little different, but it's always been $600 a month. I said alright and called my mom. I told her that our cousin told me about the money you've been sending down there every month since 1999. She said, "Yeah, it's for your grandmother medicines." I called her out. "No, it's not. You send them money because you feel guilty about living in America and they can't. So you send them money every month and they spend it on the same things you have told me I wasn't allowed to have because I was greedy." I told her that during that conversation I asked my cousin what type of clothes and shoes they wear. They said all the name brands that I was never allowed to look at. They took vacations on my mom's dime to Brazil, Peru, and Puerto Rico. While I missed every single school field trip that required money. I got a job at 14 so I could help with groceries and buy my own clothes because I felt that I was costing my mom too much money. I explained that according to them she would send at least $600 a month down there. That would mean she has sent over $170K. I told her she could have helped me and my sister get through college, but instead we had to take the student loan route. I asked her this question: is the reason you never bought me and my sister tickets to go visit was because you didn't want us to see the truth? Her reply: I brought you to America, you had it better than all of them, you're just ungrateful. I said, no, I just don't feel guilty about being here. If they really wanted to come here, they should have used the $170K you sent them. If you have made it this far, you might be wondering, where is my stepdad in all this? His belief is, if the conversation is about money that is not his, then it's not his problem. It was never about the clothes or the shoes. I just felt so betrayed because I wanted to experience what other kids around me experienced. Not everything, but some things. As a kid, I was made to feel terrible for wanting anything because I supposedly had it better. I handed my mom my paychecks for years, thinking times were just too tough. Just to find out that I had nothing to feel guilty about. I feel like my childhood was taken away from me because I wanted all the things a normal kid asked for. I brought you to America so you could have a better life. Proceeds to send better life back home. I was just about to comment on this. I say this as an immigrant myself. You having a better life than people back home is the entire point. She's also going to expect you and your sister to take care of her and your stepfather. I definitely remind her that when that time comes, both of them will get the cheapest food and housing because that's exactly what she taught you and your sister to do. Now they should just tell her to go live with the family she's been bankrolling for over 2 decades. The government must have something for free, right? She will be lucky to live in America's free shelters, she should be grateful. Well, your mom is probably learning what happens when the shoe is on the other foot. She robbed you of a childhood, now she probably won't be in your life as an adult, or get to know any of your children. I will never understand people who put their extended family before their own children. To some, keeping up appearances is more important than anything, even their mental health. Sadly. My dad was like this, he would go out of his way to buy gifts for my cousins, shit that I could never ask for. Pick any video game you like, and I remember him giving one a big check when he graduated university. I got about half as much when I did years later. He loved to impress his siblings and keep up appearances with them. Hey man, what you're feeling is completely justified. My mom was an immigrant too, and it's hard to move away from the "it's too expensive, you're too greedy" mentality of it all. Your mom prioritized your other family more than her own kids, and that's just wrong. You should have been her best interest. And the fact you were even helping to pay for groceries from a young age is a huge act of great character on your side, but a complete failure on hers. SHE should have made sure you felt secure in your own home, and your stepdad is a tool for letting it slide. To not even be able to go on field trips. Wow. I completely understand why you're upset. I would be, too. At least now you can spend your own money on anything you want and there's nothing she can do about it. Time to let your sister know what is going on and both of you stop giving mom money for anything. Make sure you have moved out so they can't say you owe rent. Get away and stop giving her money. If she wants to send money to relatives instead of her own children, then she does not deserve children. Consider her an egg donor and at the very least go limited contact with her. Even better, no contact. I can see why your stepdad kept the finances separate. Your mother probably would have siphoned off his as well to send back. Left them both completely without nothing. At the end, times were tough because your mom was sending money to your family. Sorry you went through that. And I hope you can make up for lost time. Entitled mother tries to make me pay her debts. Hi everyone, this is an update to my last post. A lot has happened in those 2 months, so the story is long. For context, a fight between me, F, 25, and my mother, F, 45, resulted in my parents' divorce and my brother moving out of the house, M, 15. After this fight, my mother came to demand that I pay her bills, calling me and my fiancé several times. We ignored her and stopped. Well, a week after those calls, I got home with my fiancé and we saw the door open and the house destroyed. My mother came to another state to force me to help her, but since I wasn't there, she decided to break everything. Unfortunately for her, I have cameras on everything, and now she's been locked up for 10 years. There was nearly $100,000 in property damage as my fiance's car was completely destroyed, along with the house's furniture, electronics, electrical system, plumbing system, doors, windows, and floor. The sentence also included assault on the minor, mistreatment, moral harassment, and other things. I think that's karma for the bad way she treated me and my brother. In the divorce process, my mother lost custody of my brother and is now restricted from seeing him. My father is now in debt due to the divorce since he was evicted. My lawyer sat down with my father's lawyers and reached an agreement that I would be my brother's legal guardian due to his traumas and my father's current condition. Before all this trouble, my fiancé inherited his father's company. A big tech company, so he was very well off. I don't earn too badly either, so my dad agreed to let me be his legal guardian, but with monthly visits and other little things. It turned out that my fiancé, my brother and I moved to another city. Finding work was pretty easy as my background and recommendations were great. Now I work a lot less and I get paid a little more. My brother is now studying at a great school. He does therapy and extracurricular activities he always wanted to do. I'm glad this is all over, at least for now. I feel sorry for my mother, but she deserved it. I'm talking to my dad. I'm paying rent on a small apartment for him while he settles down. My fiancé and I are planning our wedding. I'm glad he accepts my brother with us and treats him so well. I know I'm with the right guy. Thank you for your support, and if something happens, I'll update you. Good to hear things are going well after all the drama, particularly for your brother. Good luck WTH your wedding and your future lives together. Make sure that you will be notified when your crazy mother is eventually released, because you don't know what she will have been planning by way of revenge while incarcerated. WTF was wrong with your mother? Good on you for pressing charges. Too many kids let their parents get away with that kind of crap. Better on you for taking in your brother and giving him some stability in a time of upheaval. She was always insane. I already had many problems with her in childhood, which still affect me today. She was a monster with me, who was the golden daughter. Imagine with my brother who was unwanted by her. Now you are a hell of a sibling. Between the standing up for your brother with your mom, to taking full guardianship off him to give him the best chance he'll get anywhere else, while also helping out your dad who got messed up in the divorce, you are taking on a lot, but you're doing amazing things for your family. I love my brother very much. He's been through terrible things and I couldn't help much. I left the house at the first opportunity and left him behind as I couldn't support both of us, and I feel guilty about that. I will do anything for my brother. Did she already have a record? She got jacked right away. Yes. My neighbors already called the police once, because of a fight between my mother and my brother. She broke everything but didn't hurt him. She also had an occurrence in a fight with an attendant. I don't know the story. I'll ask my brother to tell it and I'll bring it to you. Well, I guess she sorted her own living arrangements out. The fight between you and your mother did not cause your parents' divorce. Mom's untethered behavior is most likely is the cause. If your father divorced her, he probably had a foot out the door long before your fight with her. My dad doesn't believe he's being a weirdo. I actually don't see my dad anymore, but when I was forced to visit him due to court, he was a weirdo. I always remember when I started developing. I'm 17 now. He started treating me weirdly at like 14. He'd force me to wear bras to sleep and sweatpants and sweatshirts in the summer. I wasn't allowed to lay on my stomach, my ass would stand out too much, and if I was walking into the same room as him and I was wearing shorts or not wearing a bra, he would dramatically cover his view of me with his hands and make a disgusted face. Anyways, that's enough of the background info. My dad made a very big habit of telling me what was considered trash at a young age, referring to women who showed too much skin or wore too much makeup. He would always loudly announce it and make acronyms that no one other than us would understand so he could openly talk about people in public. For example, he had me calling my mom LAM for so long, standing for life's mistake, etc. Eventually I grew out of his 2D mindset and realized who gives a shit what people wear. I remember the exact argument too. where I was telling him that women shouldn't have to watch what they wear when men should be the ones not assaulting them. He retorted with, "I agree, but you don't know how men think." I know what they're thinking. I am one. Man, that was only the start of it. I was baffled that he'd even say that, and think it's okay? Second thing was when we got home super late because the shorter route home involved driving through a more low-income neighborhood that had a higher crime rate than other places, so I kind of understood if that was the case. But now, it's because he wanted to avoid the black people neighborhood. Like, what is wrong with bro? I remember arguing with him, saying he was racist, and I didn't know how he couldn't see that he was. And he just argued back. Really? Well, if I am, that's fine, I'm okay with that. He's the same type of person to claim that he's discriminated against in the workplace because of white supremacy. For reference, we're Asian. Even if he's not exactly entitled here, he is definitely a Karen, and I think he's entitled by thinking this BS is okay. Him being stupid gives funny stories though. Like one time I went down to get a drink of water and he was taking a shit naked in the bottom floor bathroom in the pitch dark with a flashlight. And one time I asked why there was a Bible in the bathroom and he said it's because when he's constipated he reads the Bible and prays for it to come out quicker. But behind all of that I hate him. Sorry for your dad, he definitely needs therapy. He needs a psychiatrist who enjoys a challenge. He should have read the Bible verse that tells you to pluck out your eyes if what you see offends you. Glad you are out of there. Your dad was a weirdo. Tidy LOL. He's still weird. I've tried to keep in touch with him recently, especially after I graduated high school, but he blames me for our entire family falling apart and just very passive-aggressively talks to me, so I've given up. Sucks I don't really get closure, but I'm doing better now that I'm away. Ick if you picked up on this, but that really sounds like he was / attracted to you. I would believe that, but ick, the idea of him attracted to me is crazy. He always seemed disgusted of me. LOL. Stopped hugging me when I grew older and made me slouch so my breasts wouldn't be as noticeable. I feel as if he was just grossed out at the idea of acknowledging my development rather than into me. Your dad is racist and he wasn't disgusted by you. He was turned on and put the onus on you to curb his desires. And with that, I'm going to take a wire brush to my brain and try to forget all this. Good luck, OP. Hope you have a good exit plan. Continue to stay away from this person, parent or not. You are smart and better off on your own. Dude is definitely different, but I bet he comes by it honestly. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.